10 worst assets that keep you poor. Avoid these. We've all been there. You invest in something, thinking you've made a smart decision, but years later, you're wondering why you're not moving forward. It's like walking in quicksand. The more you try to push, the deeper you sink. These are the assets that feel like progress, but are quietly holding you back from reaching the wealth you desire. Imagine being stuck on a treadmill, running faster and faster, yet staying in the same place. This is what most people don't realize about their assets. They're not working for them, they're working against them. And let's face it, it's frustrating. You put in the work, you make what feels like smart decisions, but somehow your financial situation doesn't seem to improve. So what's really going on? The truth is, you might be holding on to things that feel secure, that feel like investments, but are actually holding you back. These assets are like anchors, preventing you from sailing to the wealth you deserve. And I'm about to expose them for you. Stick around, because in today's video, I'll break down 10 of the worst assets you're probably holding on to that are keeping you poor. If you want to free yourself from these financial traps, you're in the right place. Here's the kicker. A lot of us spend years building wealth, only to realize it's not really wealth at all. You think you're on the right track, but what you're actually doing is just spinning your wheels. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what you own, what you invest in, and what you hold on to, thinking it's going to make you rich. And the worst part? You're probably not even aware of the damage it's doing. The next few minutes will completely change the way you look at your finances. You won't believe what's next. You might be investing in things that are secretly sabotaging your wealth without even realizing it. Ready to dive in? Let's get started, because the first asset on this list is a big one. Trust me, you've probably been holding on to it without even thinking twice. Number 1, a car that defines your status, not your needs. Everyone wants the luxury car, but is it really serving your financial goals? You might have convinced yourself that driving a sleek, high-end vehicle is a necessary part of your success. But here's the truth. Those monthly payments, the sky-high insurance premiums, constant maintenance, and the unavoidable depreciation of the vehicle, they're all silently eating away at your wealth. You might feel proud when you pull up to a meeting or show it off to your friends. But the reality is, every time you make that car payment, you're trading real financial growth for an image that doesn't actually move the needle on your wealth. Imagine someone who upgrades their car every few years. They feel good in the moment, but they're sinking deeper into debt, constantly chasing an image that's ultimately pulling them further away from their financial goals. In the end, the car isn't adding value to your life, it's just a wealth drain. This is just the first one, but if you think a car is your only trap, you're in for a surprise. There are more financial pitfalls ahead, and you won't believe what's coming next. Number 2, subscription fatigue, disguised as convenience. Monthly subscriptions add up. You sign up for streaming services, apps, memberships, and think they're harmless. After all, it's just a small monthly fee, right? But let me ask you, how much of it do you actually use? Do you really need all those services, or are you just paying for convenience? This convenience is quietly bleeding your wallet. One subscription here, another there, and before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on things you rarely even touch. And when you go through your bank statement, it's easy to overlook. But that's how they get you. It's the small, recurring costs that add up in the background without you realizing it. As we move forward, you'll see how this seemingly harmless convenience could be the silent anchor holding you back from true wealth. The next one might be something you've invested in, thinking it would secure your future, but it's actually doing the opposite. Let's take a look. Number 3, a degree with no demand in the market. Your degree isn't necessarily an asset if it doesn't lead to high-paying jobs or in-demand skills. We've all been taught that education is the key to success. And sure, it's important, but only if it's aligned with the job market and high-income opportunities. The problem? Many people invest heavily in education, only to find themselves underemployed, or worse, stuck with student debt that keeps them from moving forward. They thought their degree would unlock doors, but instead, they're left holding a piece of paper with little real-world value. This burden prevents them from investing in more lucrative opportunities, keeping them stuck in a cycle of debt and low-paying jobs. But there's more. The next asset you're likely investing in could be eating away at your potential wealth in ways you don't even notice. Keep watching. We're just getting started. Number 4. Emotionally bought real estate in low-growth areas. Investing in real estate is often seen as the cornerstone of wealth, but only when done right. The key here is to choose properties in areas with growth potential. But what happens when you make emotional decisions, like buying a house in a market with no future growth? You end up locking your money into a property that doesn't appreciate, or worse, one that decreases in value. When you buy based on emotions or personal preference, like choosing a home because you feel it's the right place, you're missing the financial picture. While your house may feel like home, it's a poor investment if the market around it is stagnating. This kind of decision could trap your money for years, preventing you from making more profitable investments. This next one is something most people buy because of perceived status. But it's far worse than you think. Stay tuned as we explore how this investment could be silently draining your bank account. Number 5. Designer clothes that depreciate faster than tech. Buying designer clothes seems like an investment in self-image, but the truth is, they lose value faster than most people realize. You may have splurged on that luxury jacket or pair of shoes, thinking it's a timeless investment piece. But here's the reality. What you think is an investment is just another rapidly depreciating asset. Unlike stocks or real estate, designer clothes are not immune to the effects of time and wear. Within a season, they lose their value. The moment you wear them, they start depreciating, and there's no return on that investment. While it might feel good to sport those high-end brands, they aren't building your wealth or assets. They're simply taking your money and offering little in return. After hearing this next one, you'll likely rethink what you're spending your hard-earned money on. The next trap is something most people don't realize is a massive waste of time and money. Let's dive in. Your time traded endlessly for someone else's dream. Trading your time for money in a job you don't love isn't just a career choice. It's a life sentence that can keep you financially stuck. You might think you're earning money, but in reality, you're giving away your most valuable asset, your time. And for what? To build someone else's dream. Every hour you spend working for someone else is an hour you're not spending building your own future. Your time is your most finite resource, but most people exchange it for a paycheck, never realizing how much potential they're trading away. The problem is, you're working to make someone else wealthy while your own wealth remains stagnant. The next asset is something you buy with the best intentions, but it's actually keeping you from true freedom. Stay tuned, because this one is going to make you think twice about your financial decisions. Number 7. Gadgets bought to fill psychological voids. You've probably purchased the latest gadget to make life easier or more fun, but are they really adding value to your financial future? We all get that urge to buy the newest phone, the latest smartwatch, or some high-tech gadget that promises to make life better. But the truth is, gadgets often don't add lasting value. In fact, they quickly become liabilities that demand constant upgrades. Think about it. Every time a new version comes out, the one you bought last year is suddenly outdated, and you're left feeling like you need to buy the new model just to stay relevant. These gadgets rarely improve your financial situation, yet they pull money from your wallet faster than you can imagine. What's worse, they end up sitting in a drawer when the novelty wears off. The next one is a tricky asset. It seems like the smart thing to have, but it could be draining your financial resources without you even noticing. You'll want to stick around because this next one is a real eye-opener. Number 8. Insurance you don't understand, but blindly trust. Insurance is a necessity, but are you paying for policies you don't fully understand or need? Many of us sign up for insurance without taking the time to truly understand what we're paying for. We're told it's essential, so we trust that it's the right move. But the truth is, many people invest in overly complex insurance plans that don't actually help them build wealth. They only deplete it. You might be paying for policies that sound good on paper, but when you look closely, They're full of loopholes, hidden fees, and low returns. These plans might feel like protection, but they're not doing anything to build your financial future. Instead, they're taking money away from opportunities that could truly grow your wealth. The next one is especially dangerous for anyone who thinks they're doing the right thing, but it's actually working against you. Stay with me, because we're getting closer to the heart of the problem. Number 9, hobbies that mimic income but bleed expenses. Hobbies can be a great way to unwind, but when they start draining your finances, they're no longer hobbies. They're just another expense. You might have a hobby you're passionate about, thinking it could turn into a side hustle or even a profitable venture. But more often than not, these hobbies start to bleed your bank account dry. Think about the money you pour into equipment, supplies, or classes to improve. What started as a fun way to pass the time suddenly becomes a black hole for your finances, with no return in sight. You're spending far more on your hobby than you're ever making back, and it's keeping you stuck in the same financial spot. You'll want to hear the next one because it's something most people mistake for a good investment. It feels right at first, but in the end, it's just another financial trap. Number 10, networking that costs money and never returns value. Networking events and social circles promise opportunity, but many are just cash cows for organizers. You've probably attended a few events thinking they would open doors to new business opportunities, career growth, or personal connections. But what do you really get from them? More often than not, it's just an expensive coffee or overpriced dinner, and no real return on your investment. Networking should be about creating real value, not spending money on overpriced seminars, memberships, or exclusive clubs that promise connections but don't deliver. These networking opportunities may look good on the surface, but if they're not yielding tangible results, they're nothing more than a drain on your finances. But stay tuned, because I've got a special bonus for you coming up that you absolutely can't afford to miss. Trust me, this one will blow your mind and show you how to really change the way you think about investments. Don't go anywhere. Let's quickly recap what we've covered so far. We've discussed 10 of the worst assets that could be draining your wealth without you even realizing it. The luxury car that feels like a status symbol, but is really just a debt trap. Subscriptions that seem convenient but are quietly bleeding your bank account. A degree that doesn't lead to a high-paying job and leaves you burdened with student debt. Real estate in areas with no future growth potential, designer clothes that depreciate faster than you can say next season, and hobbies that mimic income but are really just an expense. Then there's the time you trade for someone else's dream, insurance policies you don't fully understand, and networking events that promise connections but offer no real value. These assets don't just hold you back, they silently rob you of the financial freedom you deserve. But here's the kicker. As a thank you for being part of our community, I'm about to share a bonus tip that will blow your mind. This is something you definitely don't want to miss. Bonus point, the hidden asset that is really holding you back. Now here's the big reveal. The hidden asset that's really holding you back is your mindset. If you believe in the value of these poor assets, you're stuck in a cycle that only reinforces your financial struggles. It's not just the things you own, it's the way you think about them. If you think these assets are helping you, you'll keep pouring your resources into them, all the while watching your wealth slowly slip away. Changing your mindset is the first step to breaking free from these traps. Once you start viewing your assets through a more strategic lens, that's when you'll really start building wealth. Now that you know about these financial traps, what are you doing to turn it all around? Stay tuned for a new strategy in our next video that will show you exactly how to break free from these traps and put your money to work for you. Drop a quick comment below if you're ready to take your financial future to the next level. If you found value in this video, hit the like button so more people can learn about building wealth. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a new strategy to grow your wealth. Send this video to someone you know who's ready to build a better financial future. Thanks for watching. We have a great video recommended for you next, so don't forget to click on the video that's popping up on your screen. I'll see you in the next video.